my classes start in under a month. And I already feel like I want to kill myself. They're accelerated classes. Several months condensed into 1 month of learning. Hopefully, I can get my shit together and just pass. Just get it over with. It's only a month, okay? It's only a month. And then the next month comes, and then it's another 2 classes. But guess what? It'll go by like that. Whenever I'm in a situation where I really want something, or I want something to occur, and I've done every possible thing to either prevent or make sure that it happens, and there's nothing I can do anymore, my parents tell me to pray. And, we're not exactly an extremely religious family. We'll go for Christmas and, Easter, because there's, a fun event happening at the church, but it's not like I'm tuning into Joel Osteen every Sunday. So, the situation is really bad when people who aren't very religious tell you to turn to religion. There's nothing here that can help you. You just have to... Anyway, enough of that. I leave for New York tomorrow, so it's time to pack. I have a story time for you. Once upon a time, 76 hours ago, I was in a Fry's food store getting flowers because my neighbor died. And in the flower section, also combined the balloon section. They were one entity section. It was a shared space. And so, I'm looking around and, I come across this. I see him just standing there. It looks like he was parked there, like someone was going to buy him, and they decided, I don't want this shit. But guess who did? Me. I saw him, and I was like, that's motherhood right there. I've seen these kind of balloons before, on TV and TikToks and stuff. So I decided to give it a try and walk it as its main purpose is. And I feel a sense of euphoria. I feel like I'm ready to adopt. It was so fun for some reason. I don't know, it's just the way that it bounced. Anyway, and I'm assuming it's going to be around under $10 is what the max of what it would be. There is a tag on it, but no price. So I decide, okay, you know what, for shits and giggles, let me just buy this thing. So I take him up, I put him under my arm, and I walk across the Fry's food store. And I go up to the cashier. The cashier looks at me, and they go, that isn't for sale. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And she says, it's must be it's decor for the store. A balloon sitting in a balloon section was decor. All right, it wasn't pinned down or strung up by tape. It was there. I know it looks like it's a flower section, but on the other side were a bunch of balloons. Okay, I did the math. I took the information that I had at that moment, and I went to action, and I was shut at the front gate. So I'm sad, but also it's not the end of the world. But I do the walk of shame from the cashier all the way across the store back to the flower and balloon section, and I put him back where he belongs. First of all, he belongs here, next to me, wrapped in a blanket and protected, not standing on the cold tile of Fry's food store. Anyway, I leave the store a little vulnerable and sad, and a little embarrassed. Anyway, that is my story time. Do with that what you will. I woke up today at 9:50. Okay, my plan was maybe 9, awakening, and I had an appointment at 10:10, and it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to said appointment. And you're supposed to arrive about 10 minutes before the appointment starts. It wasn't even that dramatic. It was just TSA pre-check at Staples. No one's at Staples at 10:10 in the morning on a Monday. Now, I know my social security number, but sometimes I have to write it down because I tend to forget the last 4 digits. And I'll repeat them to you right now. 32. And so when she asked me to put in my social security number, it was kind of embarrassing to have to look at my notes app and then type it. And then she was like, okay, can you type it again? To reconfirm. I just typed it. I just typed it all, and I still had to open the notes app. My back hurts so bad. Thank God for the seat warmers, Oh, what a rich statement. Thank God for the seat warmers in my Ford ST Drive. This isn't even my car. I can't afford a car with seat warmers, much less a car. My dad was like, Aisha, you should get a car. And I said, why would I do that? And he said, so you can drive around. I'm like, well, that's what your car is there for. Sitting in the driveway when you're not using it. For me to go beep, beep. I've been having conversations about my happiness, right? Anyway, so the moral of the story, okay, if you're someone who is among the neurodivergent circle, which is an obvious, thing to think about, just watch something. I mean, it makes sense for someone who is neurodivergent. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Hello, I'm in New York. I didn't vlog my process from getting to the west to the east because it's, the airplane and the TSA is already stressful enough. Everything was fine. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. My dad takes me to the airport. I get dropped off. Now I have a new carry-on bag with me, and that's because my parents have gifted me an underseat roller bag to take with me to the airport, which is great because I have scoliosis and I use backpacks because I don't, just like every other average, extremely anxious person, I hate putting things above my seat. I hate putting luggage above my seat because I have to pause and I have to lift above my head, and I don't have the muscles or the capacity of strength to lift something over my head. I know this sounds weak and vulnerable, and it is. I'm being very honest with you. You have to understand. It's hard, especially when you have scoliosis and everything's already thrown off. So I like to have something underneath the seat. But the issue is that the backpack is very strenuous because I have a heavy laptop with me, and I like to pack Chex Mix that adds into the weight. So they got me a roller bag. So the stressful thing was making sure and praying to God that it would fit underneath the seat, and it did. So I get on the plane, I put it underneath the seat, and I have a window seat for a nice early morning flight, so I can sleep, and everything's fine. There's a man sitting next to me, and a man sitting in the aisle seat. I'm always sitting next to men. It never stops. It's 7 o'clock by now. I'm getting tired. We've taken off, and I decide to take a nap. Okay, I'm taking a nap. And it wasn't until, I wake up, and I'm looking ahead, and everything's fine. I get some orange juice. I'm scrolling through my phone, and then I start to realize a pattern of arm motion happening next to me. The man next to me is not just picking his nose every 3 to 5 minute intervals, but then he proceeds to immediately put his finger in his mouth as a little plain snack. It starts, every 3 to 5 minutes, and then it cuts down. It's like somehow more boogers produced in his nostrils, and he's going in every minute now. It's like I was watching and witnessing a man having contractions by the patterns of how much he was getting in there and then proceeding to eat his boogers. Listen, by the age of 17, I think you should stop. I think earlier, but I'm not going to shame, you should stop picking your nose. But by the time that you're in middle school, the common courtesy of presenting things that you would do at home, then to the public eye by picking your nose and putting it in your mouth, should stop at middle school. You should not be doing this on the plane. Now, my theory is that this man didn't understand the concept of peripheral vision, or whatever it's called. He thinks because I was looking here, right, that he's next to me, that I can't see here at all, but I could. Because I was looking here, in his mind, he was like, there's no way she's gonna see me go like this, and then like this. So then I devise a plan, because I can't take this anymore. We've got 3 more hours on the flight, and I need to make it out alive. I'm looking at my phone, and so I then kind of lean to the window and turn my body. So I'm scrolling through my phone and kind of looking at his screen that he's watching a movie on, to kind of give off that I could literally look over at any moment and see him go into it, and that he should be ashamed. So then he realizes a little bit of what's happening, and he doesn't actually stop. He just instead of every minute, he goes in every 10 minutes. On top of it, as I said, he was watching a movie because Delta offers free in-flight entertainment. And so he's watching the movie, he's picking his nose, he's putting it in his mouth, getting into the fingernails as well. I see there's action happening. And then he touches the screen to pause or turn up the volume. No woman would do this. This goes on for another 2 hours. Okay, now I have to go to the bathroom. So I have to notify him that, hey, move the fuck over. I gotta piss. Girls gotta piss. So I say, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he, stands up and lets me go. And I go to the bathroom and I come back. So I guess he was using Kleenex to, blow his nose. Because I saw him using them also a couple times. But I didn't see where he put them. He put them in his lap. Okay, so when he had to stand up, some of them slid onto my seat, onto my airplane seat. So I return to my seat, and there's 2 mucus-filled Delta napkin monstrosities on my seat. Now I feel a wave of disgust rush over me. This is not the first time I've felt this wave on the plane ride that I'm currently on, but it's more like the 10th one, but this one is at a new level. So I somehow maneuver my way around them and kind of sweep them off without my hand. I don't remember how. The memory it's been erased from my brain. The trauma kind of makes you forget. They're away from me now, and they're on the floor. So we're landing, and I'm looking out the window. I'm getting a beautiful view of New York City. I'm seeing, welcome to New York. So I'm looking out the window. I have my headphones in. I've got, Deltarune music playing, and then I turn my head to look forward, just to kind of, relax. And in my peripheral vision, I see a barf bag open and present. And I see the motions coming from his stomach to his neck, and the physical, cartoon, barfing movements occur in my vision. Now, I am not to shame someone for getting motion sickness. I have to take a Dramamine every time that I take an Uber or a flight. I have to wear these goofy-ass glasses that you've seen me wear before every time I take a car ride. I am not someone to shame. But this man has no common courtesy when it comes to hygiene and other morals when it comes to public action. And he just let that thing simmer. He let the thing breathe like a hot pocket. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm here in New York City. I'm on my way to go to a Christmas bar. I know. I can drink. It's insane. All right, we'll see you later. I'm already getting scared about getting back on the plane. I'm scared of my seatmate. Moreover, I got approved for TSA pre-check. Let's fucking go. What does that mean? What are the next steps? Well, that means I take my little carry-on, and I don't take off my coat, I don't take off my shoes, and I walk through that bitch like I own it. It's at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna be very groggy, and I might end up in general boarding because I will forget, unless there's a constant reminder that I am eligible. This has been a good trip. It's nice to experience winter as it is presented. In Arizona, things don't really get that cold. They get chilly. A little breeze in the wind might make you shiver a bit, but besides that, you're pretty okay. Being scared of teenagers as an adult is one thing, but being scared of teenagers who grew up and were raised in New York City is another level of fear. They operate on a different system. They have a different mindset compared to your average teens. They were built to survive in the wilderness. There's just a different, here's the thing, you can tell by, who is walking up behind you, just by, how they're talking with their friends, their voices and stuff, and you can tell, oh, it's teenagers. But when it comes to New York teenagers, they don't even have to speak. From the thud of their footsteps behind you, 2 miles away, you can sense that they're coming. It is so scary. Not only that, but the children here too. I don't fear children in Arizona or Milwaukee, but here I feel as if I'm being interrogated. They talk up a storm, and a different kind of storm compared to your average local Arizona children. I just think they're gonna ask me a question that I have never been asked before, and I have no answer prepared. And as an adult, I feel like I should know everything by now. Sure, the frontal lobe doesn't develop in a couple of years, but I should have something to rebuttal with. They're a scary breed. They're a scary breed of human.